participants is distributed.
Oh, we lost him. Okay, Andreas, I hope he will join again. We somehow lost him. Can I see him in the list? No, I hope he will reconnect. While we are waiting for Andreas to reconnect, I want to say that he started to speak about crypto, and while waiting for him, I would go to some practical use, and we have here with us Sergey. Sergey is the principal, the founder of a group of companies, and among his activities, he has also this blockchain and crypto. Sergey, Andreas started to explain to us about practical use of blockchain. Can you contribute a little bit until he returns and he can continue his introduction?
Yes, sure. Well, he's actually next door, so I will check on him a bit later. But I can continue with the same thesis that blockchain is a technology, and cryptocurrencies, which is widely used, is just a very, very little tiny part of the use case. Andreas, I picked up on your speech. You can continue maybe now.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Andreas, I received a message that is the recording and then kicked me out.
Yes, and you disappeared.
Okay.
We lost you. Continue.
Right.
So, blockchain ecosystem components architecture. What is it?
Yes. Sorry. As I was saying, it's a database of information stored online through a network of computers. And what's very important with blockchain is that not only guarantees the trust and security of the records stored within this database, but also this is done without the need of a third party. And this is a key element of blockchain. And this is why it's so revolutionary. So, for example, to understand, at the moment for sending money from, let's say, from bank A to bank B, you use the bank to verify that person A has money, and then that person B also has an account, and that the money are sent from person A to person B, and that the account decreases in value and the other one increases. This is a very simple explanation of what blockchain does, but without the need of a centralized entity to verify this transaction. This is all done with the basic code of blockchain technology. And building on this, there are many other implementations of this blockchain technology. And just to bring back what I said at the beginning, crypto is byproduct of this technology, crypto, or more formally known as digital assets. Yes. So you need to have blockchain technology, and then it's optional to have cryptocurrency as byproduct, which most of the times the crypto that results from the blockchain implementation is like a reward to the people that contribute to the to make the whole blockchain work, without getting to technical details as Natalia requested.
All right, we don't need technical details. Thank you for this short explanation. But if you would say very shortly, now it's a very modern explanation, as they say, blockchain ecosystem. So yes. One sentence, what is it?
Right. If we talk about the implementation of blockchain as you requested, as I said, at the moment we can send money from people from A to B. We can use blockchain to register documents or title deeds or land and be able to verify the ownership. We can implement blockchain in healthcare. Medical records of the patients can be stored on the blockchain and be accessible from anywhere in the world, different hospitals, and also the patient can take part in research studies through their medical data, and in extent in the very near future to actually receive rewards for taking part and providing their personal data. So you have control over your personal data.
Mm-hmm. So blockchain is much bigger than just something that we mean by cryptocurrency. So as a payment means, blockchain is something that will interfere in all spheres of our life. And just as a continuation of what Andreas has said to us, I want to come back to Sergey, because he has already learned how to work in the field of investment into different projects which are backed up by blockchain technologies. Sergey, could you give us some practical examples how your business works, how the blockchain is used in the world today, and what you expect it to be in the nearest future?
Well, blockchain, I think blockchain, the easiest way for average person to look at it without going to technical details, every technology must solve a problem. Internet back in the 90s solved the problem of communications, the speed of communications. What does blockchain solve? Blockchain solves the problem of trust. Where do we have a problem of trust? Everywhere. We don't trust each other. We don't trust the government. We don't trust the documents. We don't trust anything. Blockchain solves this. The use case will be everywhere for real. We don't understand it yet. Just like, internet was invented for emails only. So that's why internet was invented. Where do we use internet now? Everywhere. No one expected that we will be using internet in our daily life just to do almost everything. Same will apply to blockchain. Everywhere where there is a problem of trust, it will be applied. Now, today, the easiest business examples will be, maybe I can give two examples where I think that blockchain can contribute. First one is accounting. I think blockchain can make the entire accounting industry obsolete. This is number one, because it can be automatic and trustworthy, the technology itself. So this is one example. Another example is where it's used is in container shipment in the technology, just because there's so many different units, there's tails flying around the world and how to account for it, etc. Maersk introduced this technology into their work back in 2017 already as a pilot project together with IBM. IBM has a thing called BaaS, which is blockchain as a service. So you can actually, it's a plug and play solution. It's very, very simple at the moment. It's like quantum computer. You can solve only 2 + 2 = 4 by quantum computer today, but the potential of it is enormous. It's about the same as blockchain. So the use cases in real businesses everywhere, more or less, whatever industry you go to. Another thing which is working already is so-called decentralized finance, where you can use the blockchain technology to actually leverage on your funds. It's just another sort of yield. It's a very basic, again, it's like 2 + 2 = 4, but it's a use case. So it's just the proof of the concept, the proof that technology works, it's trustworthy, and it generates the result which is expected.
Thank you for this. And could you tell you showed the use of blockchain, but could you tell a little bit about cryptocurrencies? Because people have different opinions about this. Is it gambling? Is it future? So it's alternative currency. How do you see crypto in today's world?
Well, to make it interesting, for example, people are talking that cryptocurrencies is used for fraud, etc., etc. The good example which I like to give is that the biggest, the most widely used currency for human trafficking, drugs, weapons is United States dollar. Do we want to ban United States dollar? I guess not. It's a misuse, right? So everyone can misuse everything. You can kill a person with your iPhone. It doesn't make iPhone a weapon of mass destruction, right? So same applies to the blockchain technology. It's a good way of payment. Bitcoin is not in itself in today's protocol anyhow. There are some other currencies which are which have a much quicker transaction speed, capacity, transaction cost, etc. It's already there. But everyone is talking about central banks worldwide introducing their own cryptocurrencies. But this will be just a technology solution, more or less. And there are good things about it and bad things about it. For example, then if they do that, then the monetary mass of the governments will be known. Those who are into economics know that it's not always a good thing. Sometimes it is. It depends on the economy. Here, everything will be very transparent. Some governments don't want that, actually. So they say that they want that, but they actually don't. So I think it will be there as an alternative. I'm not sure that it will be mainstream anytime soon, but surely it's already there. To cancel blockchain now, it's already there, it will be there. You need to kill internet to kill blockchain. That's what you need to do. As long as internet is there, nothing can stop blockchain. because it's just there already. It's in the ecosystem, as you call.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sergey. And it's a very good explanation and very clear to imagine. Themis, I would like to come a little bit more technical and to ask you about the future of these blockchain technologies when it comes to security, to AI, and all this programming part which you are dealing with.
Yeah, so blockchain, as the other participant says, is currently available to anyone. It can enhance any industry, security, healthcare, financials, compliance, as it provides layers of transparency and also an encryption. So, for example, in compliance, the future should be blockchain because anything would be transparent. So a good example would be for KYC and AML, for Forex companies, for financials companies, and stuff like that. So the future of blockchain could be combined with AI also, because AI right now is in everyday life, all of us. So AI automates our daily tasks, and this in combination with blockchain would enhance the industries further. For example,
are there any researchers? Yes, that's what I want to ask. Are there any researchers when they can combine blockchain technology with artificial intelligence?
I think there are, yeah, but there are researchers. They are not applied, as I know.
Not yet practical.
Yeah.
So that's something that can be the future of both blockchain and AI to join forces.
Yeah.
Okay, now I would go to practical implementation of blockchain and crypto in Cyprus. And I would like to ask Sash, who is now in the process of settling a company dealing with blockchain services and activities, what Cyprus needs to do to facilitate life of people like you, to welcome this new tech business?
Well, I think the government should, first of all, not be obstacle. At least it will be good if you can provide some kind of support. Maybe we should have some kind of panel discussion, what are good projects, in which direction we should go. But I would also like to stress that we don't have any mechanism to check what is actually a good project. Like, for instance, we have CERTIC, which is certified projects. And you can know that this project is like valid, it's secure, it does have use case. We don't have this yet in Cyprus. So we are like going left and right and hearing about this technology and that technology, and we're like pretty much lost. It would be good if we can have some kind of open discussion with the government or even SciSec and find a way to sponsor or help a good, healthy projects, especially in certifying and verifying that this project is a good, valid, it does have use case. So it's not like just a cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is just one small piece of it. So yes, some kind of discussion, panel discussion with the government would be really, really good.
Okay. I want to switch on to Angelos. Angelos and we will go soon to Skolkovo. And definitely in Skolkovo, there will be a big forum, Open Innovations in Russia. And definitely, Angelos, you will say to some Russian colleagues, okay, come to Cyprus because, Angelos, because of what? Microphone? Yes.
Yeah. Well, I believe it's best if they come and meet some of the persons in this panel, because I'm not the expert to explain the blockchain.
But when we speak about technical things and when we speak about facilities Cyprus can offer, what is still attractive? Why would a foreigner, you have a lot of clients who are in tech business, IT business. Why did they choose Cyprus? Why did they come? So it might be applicable to blockchain and crypto as well on a later stage.
Look, Natalia, I believe everybody here are well aware of the benefits that Cyprus offers to international businesses. So Cyprus, especially nowadays, is very advantageous as a basis for international businesses. And the benefits have to do about tax, about the weather, about the place, about the living.
We'll skip it. What about technical side?
Technical sides, this is what Cyprus wants to promote itself now as a high technology business center, if I may say, which will support tax-wise these companies, immigration-wise for the people to relocate in Cyprus. So these are some benefits in terms of business incentives that this country is ready to provide to these businesses. But of course, always we have Mrs. Kalogiru here, who we all know how friendly, if I may say, the regulators of Cyprus can be in attracting foreign businesses to relocate to Cyprus. This is something we are very happy with because we do have friendly and at the same time very professional regulators, which I believe altogether it's a whole package that makes Cyprus an attractive business center.
Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned Ms. Kalogiru. Dimitra, what to expect? Because I know for a fact that Dimitra, even 3 years ago, she already knew that crypto and blockchain are coming, and she was trying to see how Cyprus can benefit, how we can regulate this market, how we can attract them, and at the same time, we mentioned here today trust and compliance. Dimitra.
Okay, Natalia, I don't know where to start and finish. I will start by, yes, it's true that 2018, I was trying to see how we can accommodate the crypto industry and the blockchain industry. So we were thinking so we had a talk with the Ministry of Finance to see how this can be accommodated. And I was insisted of bringing expertise abroad because we didn't know how to proceed exactly. So we brought Mr. Bandman, who is a US consultant as well. And he helped, we wanted to do a risk assessment actually of the cryptos and the blockchain technology before we accommodate anything, either on a regulated, new regulated industry or the blockchain itself as a technology. So we did that. It took 1.5 years to do the risk assessment. And then the fifth directive came, which gave for the first time to Europe, to the regulators, at least to the securities regulators, to regulate the crypto exchanges. So we were running there to put some rules depending on the risks that we've had and we found, how to mitigate also these risks stemming from trading on cryptos. And we had a consultation paper back in 2018, and then we had the final, after the risk assessment, the final paper, which is telling the market what we need from you, how you will be happy as regulators to accommodate a crypto exchange, for example. And so we issue that policy statement, is called, and it's good for everybody to have a look. It's on the website of CySEX, where there stresses different issues of concern and what we would expect from a crypto exchange to come and license and be licensed only for anti-money laundering purposes, because as you know, is not for full, CySEX won't regulate the full scope of the crypto exchange from A to Z, the same that CySEX does with investment firms or with fiduciary industry or whatever, or funds. So just starting with the anti-money laundering issues and seeing how they work on the blockchain technology and what kind of reports we can get. And from the blockchain technology, adjusting to our systems that we get reports. The regulator doesn't care if it's a technology that is called blockchain or whatever, DLT or whatever they have, as long as they follow the rules, as long as they tell you we want ABC reports, and you have to get it out from what technology you're using. And this is the job of the IT or the job of the IT people or technology providers to do that. And the other thing is that the government decided to have an umbrella law, which was on consultation basis. I think the last 10 days, I remember it was still on consultation. So for everybody, again, to read and give any feedback, because our company's law does not cover anything concerning the technology of blockchain or cryptos or any like that, because the cryptos, it's not a financial instrument, okay? The ones that are not financial instruments are not covered either by tax or by the government or by the company's law, or how this technology could apply to different areas of the economy. So they did the umbrella law to be over and above our other laws that we have in Cyprus and cover this technology. And mostly disputes that may arise using the technology or using the cryptos or something. So they did this exactly law to accommodate the blockchain on different areas of the economy, not just on cryptos, as already mentioned here. And they were telling about, usually they were thinking about the Department of Lands and Surveys. So it was we were talking about a good idea for that to be on a blockchain technology.
It's a kind of a pilot. It's a kind of a pilot project. Yes, to see.
I don't think that it is could be out of tender, for example, and all the blockchainers will come in and bid to do the land ministry.
Registry,
yes. Because it's a good registry to have them on the blockchain. This was one project, and the other project that already mentioned is the KYC, already mentioned by somebody here. And I was thinking before 2019 now, we brought some people to show us their technology in order to, again, it was a blockchain technology off and on, because we had a problem with the data protection issues on the blockchain technology, because the decentralized and everything is transparent, but you need to have the data protection as well, issues that are not transparent to everybody. So it was something that we would discuss to have a type of blockchain on and off blockchain. Some off will be the data for the data protection, and the on will be the trades or something that is not under the data protection issues. So to do the KYC and all the regulators to be on that blockchain. So if we do a KYC for one person for a regulated entity, then the central bank can see that and add up if they want more documents on that. And then maybe the insurance supervisor could also have access, or I don't know, and then maybe the banks. So it was something like thinking ahead of what we could do with the KYC, and not everybody having obligations on a person and have the same documents or even more. Even the banks, the investment firms, they have the same issues. So it was something that we were thinking, starting with the regulators and see if that would be expanded elsewhere. But again, this was dropped because Natalia simply, it was a question, who would be the owner of such a blockchain? Who would own it? Would the CISEC own it? Would the central bank? Would the ministry will own it? Who will own this thing? and there it stopped.
I'm not sure, I'm not very technical, but maybe Sergey can interfere. Sergey, blockchain, does it has an owner? So it can be owned by someone, or is just decentralized in a way that no owners are involved?
There are different types. It can be public or not public. Yes, you can integrate blockchain. For example, JP Morgan Bank already uses its own blockchain, which is private, and it's integrated. And of course, JP Morgan owns it. So I understand the concern here. It must be one of the ministries who there should be a consensus on the protocol. So for example, if I upload my passport once, then the protocol must read it and say that this data, and then every time I will not share my passport anymore with anyone. I will just give the access like a public key to the blockchain, and you can scan it and it will say that, yes, this is me, basically. Yes, this is not me, but you will not see the actual passport. And you trust it because it's blockchain, it's unhackable. There is not a computer in the world which can hack it. It's trust, you know, that's what I mentioned. So there are different ways to do it, but it can be owned by someone and it can be altered if you want to.
It could be the ministry in this case, but you know, Natalia, things were not proceeding as I would have, I wanted. So we stopped the project there until we had the regulations on, and now we have the regulations for cryptos, and now we have also a law, umbrella law for blockchain, not enacted yet from the parliament, but it's still on consultation, I think. And I'm sure very soon we'll go on the parliament and enact this law. So these are the things that is done in Cyprus for now. We know that we have in Europe, there are two things done right now. Is the MiCA regulation, which is coming in 2 maybe years, and this will cover from A to Z the regulation on crypto exchanges. On the best execution, on the contact of business, in many areas that we do. I mean, SciSec supervises the investment firms. The same areas will be supervised also by the crypto exchanges. And two concerns there on the crypto side is that the hacking of the cryptos, it's a big concern of the regulators to have very strong processes and procedures there not to be hacked and disappear. I mean, lose all these cryptos, and it's very difficult. You can't find it anyway. Then they don't have a name or something. So that is a big concern. So from my side of view, I put that it's good to have an ISO there. These firms have an ISO and be certified that they have the procedures for the cyber attacks and all this, and the hacking of especially if they have wallets. So this it's one big risk that the regulator accommodates when it has to do with the cryptos themselves. And another big risk is the EML risk. That's why we regulate that, because we believe that number one risk from the point of view of the regulator is the money laundering risk, because it's an anonymous, the cryptos are anonymous. You must do the KYC of the person that brings the cryptos in to trade, but also the crypto itself, using database to see where they came from originally, or where they passed from, and the person who holds it, where he bought it, and it was not from illegal activities. So this is a concern, and a big one. And we saw different firms providing this type of service that the SciSec would also have, like the chain analysis, if anybody knows about these guys. And they have this database like WorldCheck for the physical persons, but this is a chain analysis for the cryptos and themselves. So you can put the number of the crypto and then trace back where the trades, from which exchanges came, or from where originally came. So to be more comfortable that you do. So you need to do two diligences actually. The person, the physical person, to the word check and comply advantage. I don't know what kind of data of this kind of services you have, and then you need to also do the due diligence of the crypto itself. So
that's quite
why.
challenging. Yeah, I just want to interrupt you for a while and to ask Sasha about centralized and decentralized crypto exchange. So what Dimitra is saying, in my opinion, is applicable to centralized crypto exchange. Then the exchange company, whatever, they can know their clients. But what about decentralized, when crypto exchange companies just offering a platform and people trade directly? How to source all this information?
That's a good, very, very good question. You cannot do that in decentralized exchange because this is like autonomous, decentralized autonomous organization, and there is nothing, you cannot get any KYC. You don't need to. That's the point of decentralized exchange.
Sergey, what would you say on this?
On the
The
exchanges,
possibility of QIC when it comes to crypto and blockchain.
Yes, I totally agree. I know the company analysis. We actually investigate. Well, we considered investing into it also, but then we didn't in the end, basically. But it's a good company. It was ex-FBI guys who started it, and really, you just put your wallet in, press one button, and trust me, blockchain is not anonymous. After you do it once on your wallet, your name pops up everywhere. And other people's name who you sent your Bitcoins to, for example, if you're talking about Bitcoin protocol. I've done this on a number of occasions. The biggest, the country with the biggest experience as which I had experience working with is Switzerland. Switzerland, especially the canton of Zug, they have enormous, already, they've done enormous amount of work in this regard. They consider the crypto valley. And I was actually present at one of the crypto conferences in St. Moritz when one of the presidents of Switzerland said during his speech that I don't want to be called Crypto Valley anymore. And all the audience went silent. And then he said, I want Switzerland to be called the Crypto Nation. So that's the kind of messages that they get from their respective governments in Switzerland. That was 2018, actually, quite a while ago in crypto terms. So they're doing a lot of work now. Biggest banks like UBS, etc., because I work in the industry also for asset management, they are okay to accept crypto source of funds. They don't talk about it too much, but I know for sure they are okay as long as you provide the evidence, proper documented evidence. As Dimitra kindly said, the Chainalysis, for example, this company can provide the reports. All the big four companies have crypto teams now. Deloitte is amazing. PwC has amazing crypto team in Switzerland. They do amazing reports. We have people who are dealing with high frequency trading on exchanges in crypto, and we are able to onboard those money with UBS. So these kind of things are happening today in Switzerland. IML is out of, it's there. It's more complex than on real, on fiat money, but it's doable. So everything is doable, and blockchain is actually much more transparent than normal euro or USD currency because it's public. You can trace everything, and if there is a question mark and no one can prove it, it's unprovable. In USD, if it's a blank spot, you just don't know.
I see. You won't believe, dear friends, but 45 minutes has passed. That's what's usually happening when the conversation is interesting and many people are involved and they don't have long speeches that you're sleeping instead of listening. When it's interactive, time flies. So we are about to finish this conversation, and I want every one of you to say that a small final, yes, Anastasia, to say that small final word. And I was aimed to start with Anastasia because she typed there that KYC and the blockchain is a great idea. Anastasia, what would you comment on today's conversation?
I came with questions because I think, okay, for those of you guys who don't know me, I am involved with properties. I'm the CEO of Cyprus Sotheby's International Realty. So we deal with a variety of people. I think I understand KYC very well, but actually I came with two very specific questions that I want to ask the experts. And One is that now more and more often we have proposals from clients to pay from crypto, to pay in crypto. Okay, to my knowledge, from what I checked, and basically, and if we don't talk about private sellers, if we talk about developers, majority of them, they don't understand how it works. So the only way that was suggested that the client goes through the broker of crypto, the brokerage does the KYC, proof of funds, get the money, change crypto to fiat currency, and then the currency comes to Cyprus. Is that the only way, or it's maybe there is something else? That was my first question. And the second question, actually, I want to ask the experts, is I received a message yesterday, and I'm thinking, is it a scam? Is it serious? Shall I treat it? I will read it to you. So, hi Anastasia. We're acquiring worldwide iconic properties, trophy estates, income generating assets. Price range, very good. Price settlement in specific cryptocurrency, the premier digital currency for luxury assets. Have a look at our website, and in case of interest, please send me the related property information via email. Okay, guys, is it a scam, or can it be something serious? I looked at the currency. It's based on Ethereum. It has whatever credentials, but is it a scam? I'm sorry for this question.
Okay. So I will summarize and please ask anyone to comment on it. So the first question is there any technical solution to accept payments in crypto without going through fiat currency, and whether it's safe? And the second,
all clean source of funds.
Yes.
We're not talking about bad source of funds. We're talking about clean source of funds information.
yeah, and the second part, if we can trust to the companies that say, okay, I come to buy your property and I will pay you in crypto. Is it something that is a new reality, or it's another way of gambling? So Anastasia will say, yes, I will sell you my properties, and then she will lose her property and she will get no money. So Andreas, Sergey, maybe to start from you, those people who are in somehow in these areas, what would you say, Sergey?
Well, Anastasia, I will give you a business school answer. It depends. Everything depends. So
you're not a lawyer. Only lawyers give such answers.
Well, it really depends, and it depends which jurisdictions. If you're talking about onboarding crypto money with Cyprus banks, it's difficult. They don't accept it, more or less.
But if we do it through Switzerland, because from what I heard from you, if they already have all the legal mechanisms and if it's clear, but then the question, will Cyprus banks, if let's say Swiss bank does all the due diligence, accept the money, and then send the money forward to Cyprus with supporting information?
It depends. It depends on your bank, and depends how your bank interprets the central bank regulation here in Cyprus. That would be my answer. It's really quite overall they're quite negative. If the perception is quite negative, they would rather not deal with it, just not to risk. That's how they treat it, basically.
Andreas.
Yeah, I second what Sergey said. Basically, this is a case. Everything is case by case, and it comes down to the jurisdiction you are operating. If it's possible, it's better if you do it abroad. You open accounts with banks, like proper banks that they have banking license. Yes, not the EMIs, and they accept both fiat and cryptocurrencies. But if the client wants the end money to come to Cyprus, okay, that means it's a more complicated. It's always case by case. But this is a matter of time to be solved, okay? There are many ways to make the transactions. The transactions can be done. And not only this, but then it depends who your regulator is and where you will file your auditing reports as well, yes? Because then if you make a sale, where do you declare that as a company or as an individual? So again, case by case, and
At
it's
the
very
beginning,
gray area.
can you agree with me, Andreas, that more and more questions from people like Anastasia will arise, and slowly, somehow the solutions would be found? Now you're saying that abroad, where banks are a little bit more sophisticated and maybe they have their risk analysis or prognosis or forecast, they understand that this might be one option in the future and they are more flexible.
Yes,
Natalia,
yes.
just to add as well, because Alexei, I know things from the regulating point of view. Of course, cryptos are just starting to be regulated. We haven't regulated yet any of the crypto exchange. Okay, so imagine that it's just starting. Cyprus is just starting. So I don't expect that banks will be familiar with of accommodating this type of business yet. I know from the point of view of the central bank, it will take them at least 2 years to be comfortable with the crypto business, if they would be comfortable, as long as they don't have other risks to run, like the non-performing loans, and now they minimize them, trying to minimize them over the years. If they don't have other problems, risks to accommodate, then maybe they could accept also the crypto business. For now, the banks, they won't really accept opening accounts, maybe even to crypto exchanges that SISEC will regulate. So they need to find other banks that are very familiar with the cryptos, and they're very familiar of opening accounts and dealing with the crypto business. And all it comes to the anti-money laundering issues. Again, the reason that they don't accept now is because they don't want to accommodate the extra risk stemming from the cryptos because of the money laundering issues. So, and that's why in Cyprus, we will be a bit late for banks to be familiar and accept the crypto business as such. Now, if the EMIs or digital banks are, maybe the central bank can be more flexible and tell them, for example, you can accommodate even 10% of your turnover to help the industry of the crypto industry that is regulated, again, not unregulated industry, the regulated industry from SISEC. This is another issue that is being under discussion with the central bank, but still it's early to see how this will work with them, with the banking sector, and not only the banking sector, the EMIs or the digital banks that could probably be licensed in the near future. So these are the problems here in Cyprus. But I think once we regulate the crypto, SISEC regulates the crypto, eventually it will be accepted also in the future by the banking sector, but that's going to take some time.
We had the question from Kyriakos, or comments. Yes.
Yes, hello. I have a commercial question just to make sure my understanding is right. In Anastasia's example, say all the process went through and she sold her property and she received a specific cryptocurrency. Given the volatility of the currencies, how would she know? I mean, I don't think we are close in seeing such commercial transactions, unless I'm totally wrong, just because you will be exchanging, say, properties that you know their real value based on numerous economical factors towards a currency that as soon as it might enter your wallet, its price could drop down, maybe go up. So I'm trying to understand, say a company that sells property, if it would be to receive this money, it would instantly cash them out and make them sitting in a local bank as the local currency. How do they envision of using them outside the system, the crypto system?
Andreas, maybe
it's a silly question.
He raised his hand. Andreas, how can you comment?
Yes, basically, first of all, let's remember that not all cryptocurrencies are volatile. You have cryptocurrencies called stable coins that are hedged one-to-one to fiat currency. Most popular is UNDT, USD Tether, the full name of the currency. So for example, Anastasia can accept payment in a stable coin. So the buyer can exchange their crypto, let's say Bitcoin, to a stable coin and send. So he pays for the exchange, the cryptocurrency exchange, for example, and send Anastasia the amount required in a stable coin, and that's it. So what central banks are investigating at the moment is to issue their own stable coin, central bank stable coin, which essentially will automate and use blockchain technology to improve the financial system of the country. And also Europe is doing this. So we'll see a stable coin in Europe very soon, actually.
Thank you, Andreas. It's 1:30 sharp. So I want to finish our meeting, but before you do so, I want those people who didn't have chance to say anything, just to tell what was this meeting about for them, and what other subjects they would like to go in details related to crypto and blockchain. Anatoly, the microphone is yours for 1 minute only, so we can summarize.
Sorry, I did not expect to have words. Well, I want to say, as Sergey already mentioned, it, that now blockchain is stage in which internet was, I don't know, 30 years ago. So now all applications, it's what we already have, but on new level. For example, internet first application was emails, now it's cryptocurrency. We even cannot imagine what blockchain technology will bring, especially in connection with artificial intellect and Internet of Things, for example. So, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Odysseus, your comment. What did you take from today's meeting and what you want to explore more in what respect?
Actually, I just clarified for myself that the things that I was trying to discover and to prove to myself, they are more or less the same for all of us. But the key point, I think, is the world banks. If our banks will be adapted, will follow the regulations, then maybe we will become a center of cryptos. Otherwise, there are many other countries that will make this step first and take the big part. This is what.
All right, Kostas, for you to complete the thing, so that will be the last statement of today's meeting. Microphone. Yes, Kostas. No, we don't hear you. Not yet. Okay, so Kostas was on another line, and he cannot. Jason, could you please comment on what did you take from here and what do you want to know a little bit more about the subject of today?
Thank you, Natalia. It was a very full session. I love that. Actually, I agree with Sash, if I remember correctly, that although it is, yes, I understand it is something, it is a new technology which we must adapt. But on the other hand, to be for the business, at least, it should be certified and regulated so that the surety, it's not only from the technology-wise, but it must also be legal-wise. So it must be on the same level. That's my opinion. And I think we will come to this. based on the conversation.
Okay, and my summary is that we knew today that SciSec will somehow not regulate but license, different knowledge, yes, license the companies at the beginning, and we don't know when, but it will happen soon. We also discussed that the Cyprus banks are still not ready, and Dimitra has expectation maybe it will take 2 years, maybe more, we do not know, but there are solutions in foreign banks that are looking into this. And we spoke about crypto exchanges and about blockchain everything. So about practical implementation of blockchain in our lives. And I think this subject is so interesting. And there are so many things we can go deeper in every of these subjects that from time to time, once every few months, I suggest we will invite a group of people who understand how it works and what is the new step in blockchain and crypto, and we'll come back again and again to this conversation to know more and more details, because it seems that even people who are in conventional business, in usual business, cannot avoid being a part of a blockchain ecosystem and culture. Thank you very much for being here with us today and for joining this conversation.